they are very resistant to change. They do not like change.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
We're not calling you old folks old dogs.
Edit that out.
Sorry, okay, bring it back.
What up? It's your boy Mac here at the EntrePeak podcast, bringing you another story from another entrepreneur from Utah. I'm here with Andy Isom and Downing Van Buren from Learn How. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Thanks
for having us.
Yeah, good to have you. Just a little bit of background about these guys. So I actually grew up with them, and so I know them pretty well. We've actually had a couple conversations about Learn How. It's pretty cool. I really wanted to dive deep into this idea because it's different than what most people, think about when they start a business. So I thought it was really cool. So I want to get into that with them. So tell us a little bit about Learn How.
Well, it kind of first started out. I was actually thinking of my grandmas, both my grandmas, and how they both have iPhones, but they don't know how to do anything with their iPhone. It's kind of funny because one of my grandmas actually won't even text, even though she has text messaging, just because she doesn't even know how to do it. So she has like a smartphone, a really good phone, but doesn't really know how to use it. So we wanted to do something to help them learn how to use their iPhone. That's kind of how it got started.
Okay. And so what is Learn How specifically? What do you guys do specifically with Learn How?
So basically all we are is, well, really a YouTube channel and a website with video tutorials about how to use your iPhone. We've since branched out into other topics of social media, how to do stuff on Facebook, and we have plans to reach out into other areas. YouTube, we've been doing DIY kind of stuff. But yeah, we just do video tutorials on like very specific topics relating to technology in general, like how to, stuff like that.
Just like Andy said, we knew this was a super underserved community, so it's like there's not a lot of instruction for older people using technology. So we saw that great opportunity, great space to move into. So Andy kind of came up with the idea, and then from there it was just like doing whatever we could to make it happen. I mean, we kind of just, what do we need to do for lighting? What do we need to do to make these videos? I had a little bit of experience doing like a little bit of Facebook ads and similar videos for like a different platform, and he's been doing the same kind of thing. He's great at video editing, that type of thing. So we kind of just took what we knew and then started, and then doing a lot of research, learning along the way.
You're both doing this on the side, right? You both have full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot of people that we're actually been interviewing. They're just doing it on the side, but I think it's important just to realize that, you just got to start, and it's going to be a grind doing it on the side, but you just got to start and do that. How have you guys been able to keep it lean? Because I know it's something that you guys emphasize.
Well, I'm the kind of person that I'm not really going to go out and spend a ton of money on something until I really know exactly what I'm doing or like what I'm focusing on. I think a big mistake lots of people make is they have this great idea in their head about, oh, this is the best idea ever, this is gonna work. And I mean, that happens to me too. I have an idea and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a great idea. But what you discover along the way is that maybe what you initially thought, what you had imagined it was gonna be your business idea, it actually like pivots and moves a lot like along the way. So I try to operate really lean as far as like not spending lots of money on things where I don't need to until I really narrow in on what's working, where my niche is, where I fit in like the actual market.
Cool. That's something that Spence and I have talked about is pivoting. It's kind of a entrepreneurial buzzword, like everybody's like, gotta pivot. What are some pivots that you guys have made? Or some changes you guys have made?
Yeah, there hasn't been anything super huge yet at this point. I think right now one of the things is our target audience originally was like older people, seniors that need help with technology. But actually, right now, some of our best performing videos, if you look on the YouTube analytics, our biggest viewership is like age 24 to 35. And so it's like some of the videos that we did, we like kind of capitalized on it, and they took off more than we thought they would, even though it wasn't targeted at our specific audience. So we just kind of roll with it, kind of made some videos based off of those to kind of keep that momentum going.
Cool. Seeing what's working and then going with that.
Yeah, and just chasing it and see where it goes.
So this is actually a really good point. What I was saying about not really knowing what direction we're going to take, like having an idea, we're going to help grandma and grandpa age people. But then we find out that like, actually we're getting a lot more traction with the younger generations. So we're just kind of starting to pivot, make adjustments as we need to focus in on our best target audience. Mm-hmm. And our best video right now is a video on how to film a recipe video. So like those tasty, like BuzzFeed recipe videos. We did a how-to on how to do that, and it's gaining a ton of traction. That whole idea actually came from networking. We reached out to a lot of different blogs and websites to try to get our videos featured on their website. And I was working with a pretty big home DIY website, and the owner told me, hey, like we'd be really interested in this video on how to do a tasty recipe video. Mm-hmm. So we're like, great, let's do it. Initially we were like, iPhone tutorials, but we're like, hey, we're gonna, veer off a little bit for this, see what happens. And the results were like crazy huge for us. And so that's kind of like how we're learning to be able to pivot and like adjust as needed.
That brings up a good point. You guys both have a little bit of background in Facebook, and a lot of people that are starting, you got to get into social media. We all know that's growing. We know Facebook has 2 billion users a month, and Instagram is going like crazy. How have you guys, and this is an online business, how have you guys grown your social media?
So at first it was just like, again, I said, hustling and networking. So like we had our target audience was this certain age group, and then we just like searched on Facebook anything related to like seniors and technology and education for seniors, and just like messaged, I don't know how many people, a ton of people. Yeah, and just like, and then we'd get, people would get back to us and be like, yeah, we are interested. And so we made a handful of videos for certain pages, and they'd get us good exposure. And so it really was just like reaching out to as many people as possible we thought related to our target audience, who they would be.
That's cool. So networking, figuring out. So did you just reach out to like individual users or like big pages?
No, so a lot of people, like when you're starting out trying to build like a Facebook page or anything, and you don't have a way to monetize, like if like starting out we don't have a way to make money, you're not really going to go spend hundreds of dollars on Facebook ads to grow your page. So the other way is organically. And I see so many pages who fall into this trap thinking, I'm going to make a Facebook page, I'm going to post a bunch of stuff, and then people are just going to come to my page and we're just going to get thousands of likes. And like you quickly realize after you've exhausted the invite your friends option, after that...
We just did that, by the way. Thanks for following, guys.
After that, it gets really stagnant unless you put in a lot of hustle. So like Downing said, we would search for pages with 500,000 followers, 1 million followers, and I would message them and say, hey, we're doing videos for senior citizens. Do you have any ideas of topics maybe your specific followers would be interested in? And we got a ton of ideas from that. And through that, a lot of our initial videos got shared on these huge pages with 1 million likes and 1 million followers. And that's how we got all of our likes to our page. So like for our first 1,000 likes on our Facebook page, like our first 1,000 fans, I would say maybe like 100 of those, 150 are from our friends that we know on Facebook personally. Mm-hmm. But the other 900 came from those other pages just because they shared our videos.
That's awesome.
That's like by far the best way like to grow, I think, starting out if you're not going to spend money on ads.
How long do you guys, on average, would you say you spend instant messaging people?
Starting out, I lived by the rule of spending 20% of your time developing your product or your business like specifically, and then 80% promotion. So that's what I would do. We'd spend 20% of our time filming videos, editing videos, and for however long that took, if that's 20%, I spent 80% messaging, DMing, following people on Instagram, like searching Google for blogs and websites, and emailing people. I must have sent 100 emails to different blogs.
What is the biggest, or what is the thing that you found that older people, what is the biggest technology problem that they face that you guys have found?
I think a big part of it is just like the user interface, like confidence in knowing what to do. Because like if you think about simple things like buying an airline ticket or like taking a picture and sending it to your grandkids, those aren't hard things to do. It's like 2 clicks really, but it's just showing them and then helping them develop the confidence to just kind of do it themselves.
Welcome to the speed round. All right, 5 questions, answer at the speed of light. Okay, quick answers. All right, question number 1. We'll start with Andy, then Downey answer second. All right. All right. Question number 1. What social media platform do you spend the most time on your business?
Facebook.
YouTube.
What is your favorite Utah company or brand that you guys are currently following?
To the Good Life Clothing, friend of mine from high school,
Okay.
Cash Money Rose.
Austin,
Doing a,
we gotta get you on the podcast.
lifestyle clothing brand. I'll give him a shout out.
Cool.
For me, I'm a product guy, so I love a company called Stock and Barrel. And they're out of Ogden. They make really high quality leather goods, bags, wallets, and stuff. So I love it.
Check them out. What do you guys want to accomplish this year?
We've been pushing YouTube really hard recently, and we've been having good success. So I'd probably say right now I'm looking to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year for YouTube.
Coming up with a solid plan of steps for monetization. It's like we've got ideas and we've got lots of things going, but kind of nailing that down and getting that ready to go.
Who is your business hero?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
For me, Tim Ferriss, definitely. I've read a lot of his books and he has sweet stuff.
Yeah, he's cool. All right, last question. One piece of advice you would give to someone who's just starting on their entrepreneur journey.
It's all about the side hustle. My advice is, don't quit your job until it's time to quit your job. Find a good job that you can make some money, that you can pay the bills, that allows you to work on a side hustle on the side that you can build up until it's time to, replace your full-time job or your job.
Make the job.
Yeah.
Cool.
For me, it's just get started with something. Because I think looking back and where we've gotten in just a short time, and then I think, well, what would have happened if we would have started a year earlier? Like, just get started on something because the more time you spend on it, the better it's gonna get.
Cool. Well, there you have it, guys. Andy and Downing from Learn How. Check them out. Share it with your grandparents. And thanks for joining the show, guys.
Yeah.
Pleasure was ours.